Welcome to Rangers Radio.
What a goal by Steenie, followed that up, and whoop, in it goes.
Why not give the show a call on 01413561972.
Rangers are scoring at Pittodrie, 12 minutes of the match remaining. What a stake. A stunner from Kenny Miller, rifles it into the roof of the net.
Or send Fox a friend request on Skype at RangersRadio.online.
He's gone into the middle, McSwegan's in there too. Will he come for McSwegan? There's his header, and he scores! What a substitution! Running inside, is he gonna let flies in? He scores! Good ball! Scores for Rangers!
Nacho Lobo with one kick of the ball to take Rangers to Manchester. Rangers are coming! The Scots are heading for Manchester, and you know what? Manchester may not be big enough.
Remember, it's all about the Rangers.
Well, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here on the panel this evening as the one and only Bridgeman and young Fox. How we doing, Fox?
Oh, sore head, mate. Sore head. I was drinking too much yesterday.
Excuse me. What's this young Fox thing?
Don't want to go into too much detail, Bridge. I'll tell you off air, mate. I'll tell you off air. But
Sorry, Foxy. I'm only joking, Foxy. Sorry.
Let's just see if you get Mrs. Bridge to join Tinder and she looks up with Fox, you'll see that his age is slightly different.
Shocking.
That's my information, Bridge. That's my information. And it's working a treat for young Fox.
Young Foxy.
Yes.
I love it. Love it. All the way.
How we doing, young Fox?
Evening.
Can I just say a big good evening to the guys in the panel and a huge good evening to the guys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans all over the world listening in to us in Rangers Radio here. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, gentlemen, I've not really spoke to you since Saturday. Give us your thoughts and your views. Bridgeman.
I thought it was a fabulous score for us, a great result. I thought the team in general had great endeavour. Were far better down the wings than through the middle. I thought our midfield struggled a wee bit. They had I can't remember the chap's name now. There were a couple of good players that played very well for them, but there was one guy in particular, I don't know his name, I can't remember, but he ran the show. He was absolutely superb against us, and we couldn't get near him in the midfield. We couldn't get near him. I believe that young Doherty was feeling a bit ill. And Andy
I'm reading that.
Yeah.
Actually,
so
improved when Halliday came on.
I was just going to say that. He made a difference because he's just sitting in, you know. And I thought he did very well. I thought when young McCrory seemed to take a knock and then he carried on and then he went down again, I thought, oh my goodness, has he actually done a recurrence? His old injury that he was out for a long time. But apparently it's only a bit of cramp. So overall, I'm delighted. Obviously, I'd love to have played a lot better. I thought we were a far superior team. And if Kenny Miller had his shooting boots on, he could have had 4 or 5 easily on Saturday, easily. So well done to the Rangers, and I'm a happy Bridgeman, very happy Bridgeman.
Yeah. Fox, you're a good judge, a fair judge, shall I say.
Tale of two halves, mate. First half, absolutely frustrating. I thought we gave the ball away too easy, slack passing. People no lifting their heads before they make passes. I thought the guilty one in the first half for me was Graham Dorrans. I thought him and young Doherty, two of them weren't particularly good for me. I thought we scored against the run of play and went 1-0 up. Second half, for once, we took some of the chances that we created. And I thought once again that Candias and Murphy, who have been probably our most consistent players, showed up well again in the second half.
Fair comment. I mean, I think it was a lot of positives, but still asks a lot of questions about team, particularly as the twos have pointed out in midfield. I thought we started all right, and watching the game back, I forgot really that we'd hit the woodwork before we scored the goal, and they had that good chance for where you sit, Fox, and where you sit, Bridge. At one time, it must have looked like a goal.
Aye, did indeed. Twice we hit the woodwork before we scored.
Aye, but then when their boy cut inside, and and you think, oh, you must have been looking right down the barrel.
Well, that ball was coming right up to me. I was ready to head it straight back onto the park, you know.
I don't worry, I missed.
No, I'd have scored that one.
And then we got the goal, and the second half, we didn't start the second half too well against Fox again. You could hear the sort of groans, and we were getting outnumbered in midfield, and the boy's Doherty was struggling with illness. Maybe a learning curve for him, mate. You can't, if you're not 100% fit, you can't get out there and play just for adrenaline. Or maybe it was something that came over him during the match. I suppose we'll find out as the week goes on, but hope the boy's okay.
For the first time since the 13th of December, Murphy,
quite good goals. I like them.
Murphy picks up
Diaz
the ball,
for
he does that for the
Morelos'
fans,
goal.
when it's got an end product, that's
I think
what you
if
want.
Diaz could get that kind of spurt one of his courses more often, they score more goals.
directing Morelos to go central. Here's Dorrance.
Morelos only goal for me, one chance in the game and he scored. He couldn't really miss right enough. He was only 2 yards out.
Oh, he couldn't. He's missed for
I thought he walked away. I thought he was very frustrated in the first half. Then we had the penalty claim, which I thought was a definite penalty, but the referee decided to book him. He worked hard in the second half as well, mate. As you say, Diaz, if he can put the balls in for the right-hand side with a bit more accuracy, he actually got his seat up before he put the cross in this time, and it's a nice swerving ball right into the path of Morelos, and a good goal for us. So Jamie Murphy worked hard, especially in the second half. He's very good at taking a man on, and I think he's absolutely brilliant at that. He seemed to know what he's going to do all the time, but he still does it and still beats the defender, so it's a pleasing thing for me that I like people that take the ball on and take defenders on, mate.
When it's got an end product, that's what you want.
Russell Martin did that steady
The run of Graham Dorrance.
It wasn't great, it wasn't
Morelos to go
9
central.
out of 10, but compared to the week before,
Doherty was empty.
I thought he was more steady.
He was a 6 for me, mate. He was young McCrory was the better of the two defenders. I thought McCrory tackled well, won his fair share of headers, and he had a good 60 minutes. A wee bit perturbed when he went down, and we thought he was injured again. Maybe he'd been rushed back too quickly, but he seemed to got over it. So 60 minutes under the belt will do him all right for the weekend, mate.
Who would have thought that a 19-year-old kid with this outshone guy with approximately between them 150 caps? Well, not quite.
I think you saw. Actually, I thought that Russell Martin had quite a decent game with McCrory. I thought he did quite well against McCrory, or with McCrory, sorry. But he's still not the answer. He's definitely the answer. McCrory had a wee bit pace. That was the difference, I think. Well, actually, when you talk about Bruno Alves and the disappointment among the fans and everybody else about Bruno Alves, actually he gave away. He took one for the team.
His first touch.
Directing Morelos to go central. Here's
He certainly brought the boy down and took a free kick and booking for that. Could have been a red card actually the way.
Deacon has it.
Some of the punters.
I've watched that game. It's never
a red card in that. It happens all the time. You're a defender. Somebody gets past you. Well, you've got to pull them down. It's like part of the game, isn't it? Don't let them get past you if you can help it.
But anyway, I never seen 4-0 coming. I'll tell you, with 20 minutes to go, Fox, and at the end of the day, 4-0 actually flattered, didn't they? Because they flagged and we hit the woodwork. We hit the woodwork 3 times in the whole match.
Yep.
Well, two it was meant, one it was meant to be a cross for Jamie Murphy, mate.
Jamie Murphy and Candias scored one each, setting one up. Kenny Miller, a good finish by Kenny Miller.
Wasn't it, mate?
Tremendous.
one of my all-time favourites. And then obviously Candias, Miller, Alfredo and Jamie Murphy. So we're 4 forward players. We kept a clean sheet, so we've got to look at the positives, Bridge.
You've got to, haven't you? I thought I thought, in all honesty, there was parts of that game I thought Jamie Murphy was absolutely outstanding. His confidence on the ball, he's running with the ball, he's close control, and he's running sometimes 30, 40 yards with the ball at his feet. And he made all the openings for the Kenny Miller goal. You know, he gave it to Miller, but he also gave the ball to Candias. It made that much space right away he ran. Actually, Dundee didn't know what to do with him that times, you know. Thought he was a really good game, I thought. Not all the time, but at parts, you know.
I think that's him scored 5 goals in 13 games, Fox with a few assists. Good return if you got that out of a season. That percentage of goals and assists, would be pleased.
Aye, as I said earlier on, mate, he's one of the steady ones. He's a steady 7. Most games deserved his goal for me. The ball was well won by Morelos again. Reminded me of a game earlier on this season when he stole the ball off the goalkeeper. Or was that last season? I can't remember.
Last season it was, Paul.
And the ball broke to Murphy, and Murphy just wee couple of shimmies and put it in the net, mate. So he's playing well, Jamie, and he'll be a big player for us at the weekend.
All right, if people want to join us, what's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972. That's 1972 in real money.
Where else can they join us, Fox?
At RangersRadio.online.
Yeah, make sure you don't phone an old call, because I've just been PM'd for somebody who's in a call or an old call. It's 4 a.m. in Australia.
I just to say, I met up with the lads in Fox as well at the bistro, or the bistro area, on Saturday. It was nice to see them. So Skipper was there, and Crooks Ranger was there with Gary. So it was really nice to see them. And what do you call him? Kelmac. I couldn't remember his name.
Oh, Fox knows.
Kellack, sorry.
That's it. Aye.
And not forgetting Jim Hanna was also there.
What a great gesture by Skipper last weekend.
Fantastic.
A great gesture for Skipper.
Yeah, but you know what Skipper did to me? As soon as he saw me, after we said hello and so on and so forth, he says, "No, you know what I've got? You'll just love this, Bridgman. You'll love this." It was he'd bought a book on Rangers Russia tour, the tour of Russia, way back 1962.
Yeah.
And he'd been, and I said, "Well, if you want to," he said, "I'll take it off you now, and I'll take it home." He says, "No, you're not getting it." But he'd been reading some of it and sent me a wee text this morning, and he says, the Rangers players, he says, "You're not going to believe this, but the Rangers players were only on £35 a week plus £5 appearance money." 1962.
What was a tradesman getting then?
Well, I'm saying they weren't that much above a tradesman, really. Excuse me. Oh, 62. That was a good move. 35 quid.
I don't think a tradesman would have been getting offered that, mate, then.
They probably were. Half decent trade was probably getting 25 to 30. I think that's right.
Deacon has it. Phone somebody up to find out what a half decent tradesman was getting, Fox.
That's terrible.
I'll just bypass that remark.
Let that one run past you. Just let that run past you.
It just puts things in perspective, and they were earning good money, but they weren't earning life-changing money.
Actually, some of the jobs I worked on as a steel erector, when you were out on sites, that's when you made your money. You got a good site, you got good salaries, good wages. And if you're working just in the yard, then you were just on a basic wage. The basic wage wasn't that bad, but it was nowhere near what you got if you were outside. You know yourself, being a union man, there's different negotiations, different strokes for different folks.
Wage for you in 1962, Bridge?
Oh my goodness gracious, I was only 15 or something.
So you were a tradesman at 15?
No, I was saying the tradesmen in the 60s, they didn't get against footballers. Footballers weren't thought of as highly paid people like they are now. It was only until Jimmy Hill broke the ice, because they were on a sort of set wage. You know, and Jimmy Hill...
Anyway, we've been joined with our first caller. Then we've had a walk down memory lane. It's Rudy Bear. Evening, Rudy.
Already.
And gentlemen, how are we? Hi, guys.
How we doing?
Everything's good. Cheer up. That was a wee wander
about. What were you
there,
in 1962, Rudy?
You're right. I wasn't even a twinkle back then. I was just speaking for yourself there, mate. That's what you're doing. You know what I mean?
How yourself, mate? What's your thoughts on Saturday? How you feeling?
Pleased with the result. You know, you have to be, don't you? You know, kept the door shut at the back. I'm glad to see McCrory get a run out. Had a good 60 minutes. Martin seemed a bit steadier than he has done in the last couple of weeks. I do think, I have to be honest, I think Martin and Always together are a bit of a bomb scare, you know, so it was great to see the young McCrory get a run out for 60 minutes. I thought he would, because he'll be playing next week. There's no doubt about it, he'll be playing next week. You couldn't just chuck him into that game next week, you know, so it was good he got an hour. I didn't think we played that well in the first half, if I have to be honest. But fair play to Kenny Miller, you know, months out and then comes back, you know, takes a chance like that, and could have probably had another couple. I think by the end of the game, it really could have been 6 or 7 by the end of the game with some of the other chances they'd been taken, you know. It was a funny game for me, because I say I don't think they played that well at times. I thought probably the best of the bunch for me was Jamie Murphy and Candace. I thought the two of them had a really good second half, especially. Midfield, I don't know. That if they play like that next week, I don't know. I'm not that confident, to be honest with you. That midfield's going to have to get their act together for next week. I thought we were steadied up a bit, and Andy Halliday came in. I think is it right that Docherty was not feeling well, was feeling a bit unwell or something, you know, so that's obviously affected the boys' performance, you know.
He didn't have a good game.
I was a bit disappointed in that, because they didn't really like him, you know. But Fox has often said on here, you know, when we talk about Docherty, that he's definitely one for the future, and that's right, he has, you know. I mean, this is his first season, isn't it? You know, he's only been there a couple of months, so you need to give him about 3 months or whatever it is. Give the boy a bit of time to settle in properly and find his feet properly. But all in all, you know, clean sheet, 4 goals, could have had 6 or 7 goals, saw the forwards scored. I'd rather be getting into the game next week with that result than the previous 2-3 results, you know. So I'm fairly chuffed, really. You know, certainly by the end of the game I was.
Anyway, we were also joined by Cumbrian Bear, who's PM me. He's had a better offer, so you work this out if you like. He'll be back in 2 minutes. Cumbrian Bear was
a better offer. My God,
that was Cumbrian's words, no mine.
Had a better offer. I'm away.
That was a fleeting call, but a good result, Rudy, and you Candace and Murphy. Have we still got that problem where we're getting outnumbered in midfield when the other team getting toppies, mate?
Well, you saw it at the weekend there. I thought Dundee... See, what you have to remember is Dundee went to Tynecastle, put on a good performance and came away with a draw. They went to the Darts Riders, played well for what I heard, you know. I mean, I never actually saw the game or anything, but for what I've read, for what I've heard, they played really well against the Darts Riders and came away with a draw. So they were on a wee bit of a high. They'd got 2 good results as far as they were concerned, you know. Against teams that probably should have done better against them. So came to Ibrox probably full of confidence. And at times they played like that, I thought, you know. I really don't know why.
They also played football, Rudy. It was a game of football, and there was no 10 man behind the ball.
No, that's what I mean. You certainly have to give them credit for that. They came out and played, you know. And it's indicative of how it seems to be this season's gone for us. When teams come out and play against us, we seem to find it easier to score goals, you know. We seem to find it easier to play against them, you know. It's when teams stick their men behind the ball, we struggle to break them down, you know.
Yeah. Rudy, their close control was tremendous. I saw that as the same with Kilmarnock at Ibrox, and I thought their close control in the middle of the midfield, they weren't scared, they were full of confidence, lots of space, because our 2 midfielders were just swamped, you know. Yeah. And of course we did the same again, Rudy, same we do it every week. We're running up there, and we're putting poor crosses across it. It gets blocked. As soon as it gets blocked, the ball's punted down again or pushed through, and their midfielder, I can't remember the chap's name for the life of me. Maybe somebody in the lobby will tell us. But he was absolutely outstanding.
Was it the boy Kamara, mate? Kamara?
I think it was him, yeah. Oh, what a game he had. Outstandanding. Unfortunately, I think they all ran out of legs a wee bit, but my goodness gracious, I thought, dear, oh dear, oh dear, what are we doing here?
I think that kind of told in the second half, Bridge, halfway through the second half, I'd say they kind of ran out of legs a wee bit and we're starting to get the better of them proper, you know.
I think a mixture of them doing that plus Halliday came on. Halliday made a big difference in midfield. Yeah. He had a lot of composure, picked the ball up a lot and released the ball and found our men. Good stuff, you know. Good stuff.
Anyway, talking about people who scored regular, we've been joined by Al 63, evening out.
I don't actually know. I just don't want to know.
Hello.
I think it was great for the fact that we didn't play that well and we scored 4 goals. But I think, analysing the game, if you look at it, we scored 3 goals in the last 20 minutes when Neil McCann was urging his players to get forward. And we kind of caught them in the break as opposed to them trying to catch us in the break, I thought. But it was one of those strange games. I mean, it could have finished somewhere in the region of like 8-3 to us. Our Lewis was laughing. Chairs were sitting here watching the game, and it was like, after Miller had scored, because he said, what was it? He hit the post before that. But we missed that because the TV wasn't working at the time. But after that, we saw a few things, and he could easily have scored 3 or 4 himself. Their midfield, I like that you brought up the midfield, because their midfield and, I think, Kilmarnock midfield both play nicer football than the dark side. Seasoned pros, and they're raising their game. We've got a wee boy, Doherty, who we know is going to keep getting better and better, and he's one for the future, but I still think he can step up quicker than we think. I think he was supposed to be carrying a bug there, so...
That's what we're picking up, pal. Aye, that's what we're picking up.
The other one, Dorn's... I don't think Dorn's fault. I think it's playing him wrong, because once Halliday was on, and I'm not sure if it was all due to tactics, if the guys just took it upon themselves. Halliday kind of started to take a few times and let Dorn's get further forward. And he went further forward. One of the times he should have shot, he didn't. He squared it and we got a goal for Morelos. And there was another time where he had no chances going and he shot. And he got there.
Was that not the Candias goal, the 4th goal?
Oh, maybe it was.
But I think what you said there is absolutely right, Al. I agree 100%. When Halliday came on, it released Bjorn's to move forward a wee bit, and what a difference in the play.
He's no defensive midfield player.
Never in his life.
Alan, you mentioned the midfield there, and you mentioned Kilmarnock, you mentioned that other mob, you mentioned Dundee and that. When you're watching the game, they always look, the way they're setting them up, 3-5-2 seems to be, or 5-3-2 with the 3 in the midfield. It's 3 against 2, mate, and sometimes you're screaming that, you know, Kenny Miller does a wee bit more work than Josh Wynn does, but he's still a forward trying to get forward, and that's his first port of call. So when they've got the ball, it's 3-on-2. Either one guy can run forward with the ball, or he's always got a simple pass on.
And of all the days to play against guys that have got that bit of skill in the midfield that Dundee had, and that wee boy Doherty was having some kind of, I think it was a sickness bug. And at the same time, he's playing with a guy who's playing out of position, and there is only 2 of them, and you think, oh, jings, the penny dropped away us a while ago. You've got to get another guy in there, but Mr. Murray just still no change, and it's a wee bit kind of worrying. But I thought he was
better on Saturday from a substitution perspective than he has been in the past. He seemed to be a bit smarter and quicker and to react. With the substitutes, I thought he did very well substitution-wise.
Well, if you really think about it, Bridge, one boy was ill, one boy got injured, and the guy's nearly 70 came off.
Yeah, I'm saying he did do something. He reacted. He might, I don't know whether he could have took the boy McCrory off and let him get rid of the cramp and get back on again. I don't know. I don't know how ill the boy was. The other boy was. Doherty. But I applaud the man for doing it, because in the past he would have waited and waited. I think he would have anyway, and it made a difference to the team when they came on, definitely.
What pleased you, Al? What pleased you on Saturday? Then we'll go to Rudy.
Well, I thought there again, I would just forget about the first half. Second half, I thought the passing got better once Hardy came onto the pitch.
You never thought you would say that, did you?
No, I didn't. I didn't at all. And even when I've seen it, I'm thinking, am I saying this? Aye. It was strange. Hardy actually looks like a player. No harm to him, but it just maybe it's to do with training or the rest of it. I mean, there's lots we just don't get to know, if you know what I mean. But once he was on, I thought all the guys started passing the ball a bit better. It might just be me, but first half, I mean, flipping heck, man. All we kept doing was giving Dundee the ball. It was like, here, see what else you can do. Didn't like
maybe
it,
if the boy wasn't fit, maybe we'd been unfit. I mean, I was getting annoyed with talking. If he was unfit, got a bug during the game, and he's maybe not making the same runs into space to help Dorrans, and that would explain his touch and some of his wayward passing, because if you're not feeling well, it doesn't matter. You might be trying as hard, but if it's not there, it's not there. So,
and you're always scared of losing your place too. So he's maybe played through that week kind of uncomfort in his stomach.
Whereas when we were playing,
when you go, Bridge.
I was just going to say, when we were playing, particularly their goalkeeper taking free kicks and goal kicks, and the goalkeeper would signify which side he was going to do it at, and their big centre forward moved over to the far right or the far left and jumped against our fullbacks. And invariably, he won the ball, or there was a wee tussle for the ball and it broke. And when it broke, they seemed to pick up every second ball. So, and it was a big fella. He was 6 feet something against Tavernier and we Declan John. Obviously, he'll never out-jump that guy. And I've noticed Rangers getting caught out like that many times in the past, where the big forward moves out to the right.
That was Celtic's tactic for the first goal.
Absolutely. Everybody sees it. I mean, I'm not being funny. It's all obvious. You see it happening. The guy actually runs across. Right, okay, I'll get across here. And the ball comes out. Now, I'm not saying it gets to him every time, but invariably, if it's anywhere near him and there's a jump between him and the fullback, he's going to win it. Because they're always bigger and better, and they're big. It's a big, strong player. Oops.
Was that you, Bridge?
No, I think it was it was CB lately.
It's CB.
Oh, you're back. That must be a personal best, mate.
Right.
That must be a personal best. How are we doing, CB? What's on your mind?
I just get by a fate worse than death there. She's away. She only wanted money.
No. Too much information, pal. Did you enjoy the game on Saturday, CB?
Aye. I have no complaints at a 4-0 victory, never. Not in a million years will I complain about a 4-0 victory. There's things in the team that we can all see. We can all see the slack passing and things like that. And Hoop is saying that he dreads the free kicks we give away and where we give the free kicks away. And so do I can see that. And I always go, what's he doing there, But all in all, I thought we scored some nice goals. I thought some of the play was excellent. Some of the interplay was excellent. Some of our players played in patches very, very well. And some of them were a bit slack. But that's the way teams play. I was watching some of the so-called bigger teams playing City and Liverpool. There was slack passing there, there were balls going astray, the crowd were getting on their back. It happens at every game. We're awfully hard on our boys, I think. And I think I'm hard on them as well. I agree with everything has been said in the panel tonight. I can see what you're all saying. I can see that with my own eyes, So I've got no complaints with what's been said. We have got weaknesses. No doubt about it.
Our structure, as we were saying the other night, CB, and maybe you'll agree with us, our structure and the way our formation is wide play we play to our strengths. Everything, if we can do it, we put it down the right, down the left. It lets Jamie Murphy run in, and it lets CB Candias and Tavernier mix it up. And that's what we do. But unfortunately, the two midfielders that are left, they get swamped. They do get swamped.
Did you not think the passing in the first half was abysmal at times. I thought
Dreadful.
it was abysmal, the passing at times in the first half. Certainly the second half they improved, don't get me wrong, I agree with you there, but I thought in the first half some of the passing was abysmal. And for me, that's why I say it was a funny game, CB, you know, because I couldn't see us getting a 4-0 win in the first half, you know. I think Kenny Miller scored the goal against run of play. I think they were the better team at that point in the game. Chuffed they did score it right enough, you know, and even more pleased that we came away with a 4-0 win, you know, the second half, performance.
I thought a lot of the game went because Dundee didn't park the bus. They came out and gave us a game, and that team's always gave us a game. Dundee's always gave us a game at Ibrox. It's forever I can remember, you know.
Yeah.
But I think the midfield is awfully slack at times, you know. And other times it's not so bad. And it made me think because they get a lot of stick the boys in there, you know. And maybe somebody can look this up, maybe yourself, Ox here. We were playing them at Hampden in the Scottish Cup final. We beat 4-1, right? And we were in the game, and Big Ham and Egg put one of them, see the pass that young, what do you call that boy, the bridge, can't remember his name.
Doherty. I just remembered that.
See that pass he played across field? Can you mind it? To Navdy.
Aye, yeah.
Big Ham and Egg done it near enough exactly the same pass. And George Conley got on it and he ran for the halfway line and scored and we got beat 4-1. And that's the greatest ever Ranger making the same mistake. So it happens. You've got to love it, you know. But I'm the eternal optimist. I think we'll win the league next year. That's what I think. I think we'll do them next year.
You're not that good at being an optimist. What about this year?
Well, we'll do it this year. I think we'll let that slip away with too many.
I know that, mate. Oh, this is going to be frustrating when we look back at this season, CB.
Aye.
I
think we could have near enough won every game we get beat on. That's what I think. That's what I've seen.
We've had spells there. When you think back to the Hibs game, Ibrox, the circumstances.
I thought we were cheated there, and I don't know if I say that.
Potentially.
I don't know if I blame the rest, because, that's fit. Everybody blames the ref, don't they? That's the easy way out.
The St Johnstone game at Ibrox. The Hamilton game at Ibrox. We should have been 2 or 3 up before they even get a sniff.
Yeah. Can I just say one thing before I finish on that pass? Because that pass annoyed me for Doherty across the park to Navdy. Absolutely, to Navdy. Right, I think that is it. Musa, that boy was called. By Dundee, wasn't a bad player. He picked it up, I think. Well, see in the paper the next day, or it was in the Rangers News or something like that. They described the pass as a wee lassie's pass for the greatest ever Ranger. Do you know what I mean? And I'm saying, and that boy's only 19 or 20 or whatever it is, if he ever reaches that age, you know. But that's what happened. Do you know what I mean? Some mistakes happen all over the park. And we play as a team, we win as a team, and we get beat as a team. It's as simple as that. It's a team game. You can't pick out one man or the other. Although they might make mistakes. But the greatest ever Ranger can make that simple mistake to give them a 4-1 victory. We've got to see by our own boys today. They make mistakes. Football players make mistakes all the time.
Fox, you've been quiet for a while. CB's one of the most positive supporters we've got.
I agree with Fox, nearly 100%. Young Fox, should I say.
Young Fox.
I don't know why.
But Fox talks a lot. Fox might even mind that game. I don't know. Do you mind that 4-1, Fox?
It's not running through my brain at this time, mate. I don't remember John Gregg getting many passes away, so...
No, I know. That's what stuck in my mind. It was described as a wee lassie's pass. Imagine that.
I probably struggle to remember John Gregg, actually.
Aye, so that's my take on the game. I watched the game online. In the first quarter, I thought we were doing all right, man. Oh, God.
We were talking about, you were talking about the midfield there. It seems to be a problem role, this number 10 for us, because Kenny Miller fell into the same trap, mate, where he didn't get in. Once he scored these goals, mate, for me, he kept dropping into midfield, same as Windass would do, and never contributed anything when he went there. Kenny Miller's a bigger threat staying up near the bolts, mate. It's a waste of time playing him in there. And we haven't solved that problem yet.
No.
And that's why the two in the middle get left open when teams break on us. Kenny Miller or Windass are usually caught up the park, and it's two in the middle to face the breaking team going forward, and we usually suffer in those circumstances. But Kenny's no the idea for me. I don't know how we solve that problem. The one leading the front, leading the midfield three, do we swap it and try Dorns in there? Does that weaken us in the middle of the park even more? I don't know. I think McCrory's got to come into the middle three and just sit behind these two. I would prefer a three of McCrory, Goss, and what's the other one's name? God.
Doherty.
Doherty, aye. God, everybody forgets that boy's name. But at the moment, Doherty isn't performing 100% for me. So we need to solve that. But we seem to be one player short in that midfield three. And it's very hard for us with the players we've got to solve that problem, you know.
That's frustrating.
Do you think we need another defensive player in there, Fox, or do we need more creativity?
Well, I can't think of anybody else that can come in bar McCrory, but McCrory played well at centre-back as well as he plays at defensive midfielder. Alves would solve the problem if he tackled the way he did when he came on, mate, all season, instead of just backing out of tackles. I think if he'd have come in and challenged the way he did on that boy with his first tackle all season, if he'd have done that, mate, the Rangers support might have took a wee better light to Alves for me. But we can't have McCrory playing the two positions, mate. We badly need him in midfield, but the way he displayed in the opening 60 minutes, we really could deal with him in defence as well, you know.
Rudy Bear, the thing about young McCrory is it's his pace, innit? That allows him to play the two positions equally well. For me, he still looks like a defensive midfielder, but that could be his best position, but it's only how I see it at the moment. That could change, mate.
Well, we've seen it in the last couple of games with Martin and Alves. Fox mentioned Alves' tackle there when he came on. I would love to have seen more of that off Alves this season. He cemented that boy, and I thought it was brilliant. You know, they could take a booking for it. So what? Defenders are going to get bookings. It's just the way the game is. But for me, young boy can play either centre-back or central defensive midfielder. I'd rather see him in the midfield, though. You know, no said and done if Bates is fit again or not, which he won't be for a bit, I think. But if Bates is fit, you know, we've got sort of a first-choice centre-backs fit and ready to go. I would rather have McCrory in the midfield because he moves quickly. He's a good tackler. He's got an eye for a pass. And for me, I think it was Big Al said he would prefer him at centre-back. I would actually prefer him sitting in front of the back four. That's what I'd really like to see. I think that's where the boy would come into his own. I think he has made that position his own, certainly up until he got injured anyway. So for me, his pace is a big part of that. He gets about the midfield quickly, so he does. I think probably next week he'll be playing at centre-back, I would imagine, next week. Just because of the injuries, Bates is out again, and Bates is still out and stuff like that. So, but I agree with his pace. But I tell you what, for a 19-year-old kid, he doesn't have play with confidence, though, does he? You know, and when you look at Bates and McCrory, they're the best two centre backs at the club, and the two of them are young boys. When you look at Alves and Martin,
I would struggle to argue with that.
You look at Alves and Martin. I know in the last couple of weeks, there's two guys. I think you said at the beginning of the show there, Ox, two guys with about 150 caps between the two of them, and they look like they've never played together. They look like they've never played that position in their life, you know. Certainly when they played together in the last couple of games, you know. And first choice for me would always be McCrory and Bates, two young guys, bit of pace. It's not just pace, though. They've got an eye for a pass. Bates was coming onto that as well. He was starting to make good passes because they're always good at that. But he was starting to make some decent passes and stuff. He's got a wee bit of pace. With Alves and Martin at the back, you've no pace whatsoever. There's nothing there, you know. They sit too deep because they haven't got any pace, and if the ball goes out of the throat with them, they're lost. You know, you couple of these three midfielders.
Great point, Rudy.
They got lost, So you're right about McCrory and his pace. He's needed there, definitely. Yep.
Great point about the midfield two. I'm just going to come to you, Bridge. The midfield two, the defensive two sitting that deep. Are we giving the midfield too much work to do with that, Bridge?
Oh, 100%, yeah. I think the lad, McCrory, obviously I prefer him, and I think a lot of folk would as well, to be playing in midfield. But I think he would be tremendous in a 3-5-2. As the anchor in the five. He'd be absolutely superb. But you definitely need another centre half, and if you can get Bates back, and I'd go. I'm not being funny when I say this. I would go and I'd buy that young lad. It's up at Ross County on loan now. That big boy, is it Suter? I watched Ross County are on fire at the moment. They're playing very, very well. Although they're quite lowly in the league, they're playing very well now. And their defence is good with that boy. And his outfield passes were very good. 6'7", big mountain boy. And that's what you're looking for Rangers. Obviously, he needs to be able to play football, of course, But I watched him yesterday. He's quite mobile, and his passing's quite nice as well, Very interesting.
Right. What about the other point about the defence being that deep, mate? That the midfield gives him a problem?
Well, you saw Russell Martin doesn't have the pace, and neither does Bruno Alves for our game. They break very, very quickly, and the ball's on top of them before they know what's happening. And that big centre forward gave Rangers a torrid time at times on Saturday. So you could see the difference, but the difference that McCrory made. He's got that bit of pace. He can move out and he can get back quickly as well. But I'm afraid Russell Martin doesn't have that type of pace. Although he didn't play badly, he doesn't have that pace. And if you took McCrory and put him up in the midfield, you would be left with Bruno Alves and Russell Martin. And you might not like what you see when you see they two playing together, particularly against Celtic. You might not like it at all.
Mm-hmm. Al 63, the midfield getting under pressure. The centre backs move that deep. Somebody's tighten. They go that deep. The gap between the two means that your options are limited, mate.
Aye, and the other teams know that, and they play in that big space, and it causes
If I know it and you know it, Al.
Aye, well, it causes us all sorts of damage in all games. We're not going to bum up Dundee any more than I still think what they had was a kind of. I've seen it in some English clubs. They've got a guy who's maybe getting past his best, but he is a good player playing up front, and that guy was built, wasn't he? He was built like a light heavyweight. But their midfield, it just played in between, like the halfway line and their 18-yard box. And I think Celtic will do the exact same, the Phil, if you want, will do the exact same thing, and Mr. Murray's going to have to kind of open his eyes.
That's where that Rogic played the last time.
Aye, and he is a good player, whether we like it or not. He's not a 90-minute player, but when he's on the park, somebody's got to cement him early, around about the halfway line, so we don't give away free kicks. I think we're a wee bit still in danger of bumming up our own players a bit too much. McCrory's decent, but I don't think he's anything more than that. Is he one of our best centre-halves? Yep. Is he one of our best centre defenders? Yep. Is he one of our best central defenders in the midfield? He ticks both boxes, but he's only 19, and he can't time a tackle very well, much as what folks say he can tackle. Our Lewis laughs because he's like, Dad, just keep watching him, he'll give away a foul down a bit of D, and he does it every single time he plays. And we missed him for a while there, and we weren't seeing that against us. See, if he plays centre-half, and he's playing against Celtic, he's going to have to watch that, because he's very guilty of doing folk round about that area, and they've got that wee thumbhead who can hit free kicks as we know, and we don't want to just tempt fate and say, I go there. So say if he's playing, he's either going to have to watch what he's doing or play in the midfield, but actually in the midfield, no as a central defensive midfielder, because he'll do the exact same thing, and that's my fear when he plays. Will he become good in the future? I think he'll become a brilliant player, but I don't think he's a brilliant player right now. I think he's good. I think our better centre-half is probably the boy Bates, and I'm not a Bates fan, but he probably is. He's got a wee bit more kind of, I think the word's gumption, I'm not sure. But he'll go out there and just do something in the front of the 18-yard box.
Do you think, Ox, that our two midfield players get exposed on the break because we're two fullbacks push up at the same time?
I think it's a combination of all the things, mate.
Do you think, like, say, when we're going down the left, Tavernier shouldn't venture up across the halfway line and tuck in there to make it a 3 in the midfield, and the same with Declan John on the other side? But we
keep
seem
your
to
shape,
be...
Fox. Keep your shape.
Well, we seem to... When we go forward, we're two full-backs, and both sides go forward, mate. And that leaves the two in the middle. And what happens against us if we're playing against two up front for the opposition is they go wide. So the midfield's got to cover a lot of ground to get out to the striker that goes left or goes right. And that's what exposes. That's us then left with one in the middle, you know. Maybe they should do like the Tims do, mate. If you notice that when they go down the right hand side, Tierney tucks in at the back, mate. Doesn't he go forward? But we tend to send the two full-backs forward as soon as we get the ball. And I think that causes us problems in the middle.
Are you saying we've got to be smarter, mate? You've got to look at the result. You've got to look at how the game's gone and game manage.
Well, I just think that we're very foolish. I think we've got two attacking full-backs that go forward too often. You don't have to... Sometimes, like say on the right, Candias is away and he's pacey, but he stops and waits in Taverner, mate, coming up, instead of just attacking the byline and getting the ball across. And I think mixing it up a wee bit better would serve us a lot better than two committed full-backs all the time.
Is it for you, Fox, and I'll take this to Rudy next, is it the shape that's a problem? Because we talked about 3-5-2, 5-3-2, which you own that in that central midfield, and then if you've got three central defenders, two pick up, one sweeps traditionally, and then it's up to the sweeper to push the whole team up apart. Is our shape causing Marine little problems for you, Fox?
It is indeed, mate, and the position that's causing the problem is the Josh Windass or Kenny Miller problem on Saturday, mate. That's the position. We haven't got a player that can play that. One sitting behind the two strikers. We've not seen Dorns this season having the chance to play that role. He showed on Saturday when the game went on, Dundee were sitting back, that Dorns can be quite effective up there. But Kenny Miller, lack of ball control, for me, takes him out the game. Windass sometimes goes missing in the game. So that one position is causing us all the problems further back, I think. We need a real number 10 if you're going to get one, you know. Unfortunately, I don't think we've got one at the club.
But a real number 10, Rudy, is somebody who's a second striker, if you like, whereas we're looking for that guy to become a midfielder, then become a striker.
It's when you think about it, Ox, it's a huge gap. It's a huge amount of work for one guy to try and, you know, you've got to be up there and round about the box, helping, well, Morelos, because he's the choice of the moment, you know, so you've got to be up there round about helping Morelos, you know, you've got to get yourself into the box, and then you've got to try and work your way back into midfield and all, constantly covering ground all the time. It's a huge amount of work. Fox makes a good point about the fullbacks, you know, two attacking fullbacks, you know. You see during a game of both of them flying up the left and right wing respectively, you know, try to get forward, and it seems it's a part of their game, you know. They have to be a bit smarter about this. They've got, especially next week, they're going to have to be a bit smarter about this. They're going to have to look at what's happening in front of them and play, you know, to what's happening in front of them. I'm not saying they shouldn't go forward. They have to go forward because they're part of the midfield when they get forward as well. But for me, flying up the wing, you get the ball chipped to the throat of you, man. And, you know, how many times have we seen Tav struggle to get back in time? You know, it's happened loads of times this season and last season as well. The teams have worked all this out, you know. It's like you just said, Ox. If we can see it, they can certainly see it, you know. So they play to our weaknesses, their strengths sometimes, but they play to our weaknesses, teams. That's why we've broke so many points this season. We've struggled in so many games. Graham Murray seems loath to change it. He just likes this 4-2-3-1. Seems loath to change it, and I don't think it'll be changed for next week. I just don't see it changing for next week. But for me, there's too big a gap in the middle of the park, and that's why so often we've come on here after the game and we've said the midfield were overrun. It's too much space. First of all, for the two boys that are in the midfield, it's too much work for them, and for the player who you're expecting to play that sort of number 10 role. Number 10s, by the way, are not that easy to find, Docs. A good number 10 that can play that position.
But what is it, mate? Is it a striker? Or is it a midfielder? You know,
well,
what are you looking for?
It depends, how you're going to play, really, doesn't it? It depends what formation you're going to play. I would prefer my number 10 to be up round about the 18-yard box. That's where I would like him to be, because I think Morelos has left to do way too much work at times. And he's not exactly... He's been off the boil for a wee while, Morelos. I'm glad he got his goal at the weekend there, and I hope all his big talk about scoring next week, I hope that comes off as well. I'm glad he got a goal. Maybe that'll boost his confidence a wee bit, because he didn't look like he was playing with much confidence for a while. But I prefer my number 10 to be in round about the box, helping the main striker out. Playing off the main striker, try to bring the midfield, and the striker together. But it's a big gap. How many games have you watched and you've seen that huge gap in the middle of the field? And I don't think when Josh Windass tries to play that position, I don't think he's got the heart to play it, to be honest with you, because I don't think he wants to play it. I don't think he really wants to come that deep into the midfield. But the whole problem is, for me, is we're sitting too deep sometimes. There's too big a gap in the middle with the two midfielders. Teams know if they stick 3 or 4 players in there, we're going to struggle. And that's where we're struggling the most, for me, is the midfield.
And again, I'll repeat myself, and I'll go to Al 63 then, Bridgman. If we can say Al, we lost Al.
Or calling Orson.
That's what it said. Nano. I think he was getting levitated towards his bridge.
Actually, can I just come in on that while we're waiting? I think that Rudy
back from planet Mars.
Exactly. I think Rudy's spot on. Rudy, him and I don't know how it is, but we think the same. And we're not alone. There's thousands of Rangers fans think that as well.
Simple. You read the script.
Apart from anything else, we've said this so many times, it's not real. We've got 4 people dedicated to play wide, and they can cut in and they can create chances. Some of them can score goals, but we'll get 4 people on our team that play wide, and that's the strongest part of our game. So we try to go down that way. It leaves the big gaps that Rudy's talking about in the midfield, because yes, 4 of your players gone, because all they're going to do is hang out wide or run wide. I know it's fullbacks, I know it's a wide. So it's the formation of our team based on the players that we've got. And unfortunately for Rangers, I'm afraid that Murphy is a good player, and he is good because that's what his speciality or his strength is out wide. So we have to play him there. And I think Candias as well is a good player, but his speciality again is out wide, and he's good at coming back to cover. So you can't change them really.
I think Jamie Murphy could play that 10 role as an attacker, but how would
you can't. I wouldn't expect anything from. I think if you get in enough of Murphy coming back away, it's a bonus. That's the way I look at it.
Hello?
I just feel the players that we've got don't match up to the formation that we would love to see. So we would really love to see someone sitting at the top of the diamond, and that would be, to me, that would be Dorrans. But I like to play 2 up front. I love 2 up front, and one would be likes of Morelos, and the other would be likes of Cummings. So you're looking for someone that can do something, fight, do whatever's needed, and the other guy to pick up the pieces and the wee scraps that come his way and pop the ball in the net. That's the kind of thing I'd look. How you would support that with the players that we've got, I don't know. What we going to get?
I think as far as next week goes, Bridge, I think it's going to be. I mean, Hampden's absolutely massive, and it's a huge part. And I think you go with that 4-2-3-1 again next week. I think there's going to be a huge amount of space in the middle of the park for them to exploit. And And as you say, the boy Rogic, he's really good in that. He knows how to play in that big space, and he's a good player. I hate to say it, but he is a good player. So this week, they're going to have to be thinking about that, because it's too easy for teams to play against us. If they get three boys, as I said, into that midfield, our midfield is going to struggle, and it doesn't always work trying to get the ball out to the wings,
They use Rogic in a particular way. Rangers need to play him out of the game, or force Celtic to play different passes. So I think that's what they need to do, because when he does get the ball, he's very strong on the ball, and he has a lovely mover, and he has a shot, as we've seen in the past. So the last thing you want is for him to get the ball 35 yards out, because he'll pace up 10 yards and have a dig.
All right, we'll go to Al 63, who'll maybe use the last words before Fox. Young Fox gives it a tune.
Or just Colin Larson.
Aye, okay. Nanu.
Don't encourage them out.
Following on for what Bridgman went and said there, I think it's one of those things. We know that they're going to play that guy Rogic, whatever he's called, the Aussie guy. And what he does is he just drifts. I mean, he doesn't run, because he's not a runner. He just he goes at a certain pace, then he's one pace. He can adjust to the right or adjust to the left behind doing midfields, and their whole game is all about key the ball to him. Now,
he's playing with the heat out.
If he thinks there's a shot on, he takes it. And if he doesn't, then he tries to play it wide. And it's a simple kind of game that they play. I mean, it's not as if that guy, that lassie Brenda, is that good. It's a simple formation that they play. It's just that they play it good, and they've got the players to play it. We keep playing this, what is it, a 4-2-3-1, sometimes there's a diamond and all the rest of it. We've not got players to play that. It's just stupid to keep playing it. We need three midfielders. You don't even need to do the 4-1 sort of thing, but against them, I would do the 1 and 3-1. I'd make it the wee guy Halliday, and I'd just tell him, see at Rogic, everywhere he goes, you follow him. Stay on his toes. And then when it comes to that wee guy Brown, I don't know how you accommodate it right enough, because I'm not the best tactician in the world. Need to get what's his face in for that. Blue Shadow.
You've been at a drink again?
No. You would love to have that wee guy. What's his face? The wee striker.
Morelos up against Brown.
Right, you would love to have him as the striker guy. You'd love to have him the guy you stay in Brown's toes. Everywhere he goes, you go. And it could be a thing you could use and leave Cummings up front with two wingers. I don't know.
Could Miller do that for you, Alfred?
There's your man.
No, he's not going to be like
he's the only one you've got that can do it. He's the only one you've got that can do it, pal. You don't have any more.
Anyway, if you go on mute, we'll continue this debate after Fox gives us a tune. But if people want to join us after the tunes, what's the number, Bridgman?
And the number is 0141 356 1972.
You can join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online. If you don't mind going on mute, lads, Young Fox is going to give us a tune.
I sailed the wild Atlantic, across the broad Pacific shore. I sailed around the stormy capes and I've heard the forties roar. I've climbed the Indian Ocean and I've sailed the China Sea. But there's a sea back home in Scotland, more than all the rest of me. It's the blue sea of my rocks. It's the cleanest sight that I have ever seen. Seven seas, no more I'll ever roam. No more I'll feel the earth again. I'm back where I belong. And 3 o'clock each Saturday I'll join the mighty throng. With flags and banners all around, I'll proudly sing this song. It's the blue sea of
Actually, in saying that, did you hear them? I don't know if you heard it on the TV, but they were doing the Four Lads Had a Dream in Ibrox. They were playing at Ibrox this Saturday. First I've heard it.
I read that in one of the forums, mate. When did they play it in the pre-match build-up?
Yeah, just before kick-off. Four Lads Had a Dream.
Fox, you've got some comments you want to make now. I was talking to Fox briefly on... must have been Saturday, just Saturday night, just for a few minutes. And you had some comments about the half-time draw and the pre-match stuff.
Well, we had been talking a couple of weeks ago, mate, that there was nothing at half-time bar the draw. And I think it was you that mentioned that they should do a wee sort of cameo on the big screens of the player that's staying the draw. And I see they've finally done that on Saturday. The other thing was, again, having the young kids out playing a wee half-time game in each half. I thought that was something past half-time, mate, and it was good to watch. And I'm glad Rangers have took that up. And Ian Ferguson was the first one I've seen getting a wee bit of film he's past, and then they introduced him, and let's see what Ian Ferguson was like as a player, more or less. And it went down a treat, mate. Maybe somebody for Rangers is finally listening to us. Maybe.
But yeah, if you go to the big screens and you don't use them for something like that, what is the point, Fox?
Well, I mean, if you're sitting and you don't see you're looking for the back while they're introducing the player, mate, or whatever. All you see is him dipping into the bucket. They have a wee couple of seconds talking, and then he does the draw. And there's nothing about the player. We've had great players doing the half-time draw, but they're only in half and 30 seconds as far as I'm concerned. To see that wee cameo roll on the screens reminds people of what kind of player they were for Rangers for me.
Yeah.
I'd rather have old school blues put in the lobby, right enough. That would be half-time entertainment.
I'll have to have a look. I'm not in the lobby at the moment, but I'm just going in now.
I think you need a wee bit of the old Govan Proddy boys at half-time in the centre circle for me.
Okay.
That's Mrs. Old School Blue at her dancing. With her pals. There you go, Rudy.
Can I ask you a question before you move on?
Yeah,
how far has Jason Cummins slipped in the striker's role last, mate, when Kenny Miller played in front of him on Saturday there?
I think that the reason why... sorry, Fox, I was just going to say that. I think the reason why Kenny Miller played is because he's going to play on Saturday.
I've got a different view. I've got a different view on that, mate. A slightly different view on that. I don't think Jason Cummings has moved anyway down the pecking order as a striker. He's still the number 2 striker. He can't play that other role, mate, because he's an out-and-out number 9. If that makes sense, Fox, yeah? So when you play that system, you can't play Jason because he's either got to be up top, which he's not going to be, or you're going to have 2 up top, and Mr. Murray will not do that.
Aye, possibly.
Does that make sense?
Aye.
Aye. I don't think he can play that role that Miller and Windass and that play. I don't think Cummings is that type. And then if you played Morelos there, we don't know what kind of player he'd be in there, and you lose Morelos leading the line. That's a problem with the system.
See, when we were talking about the system there against the scum, mate, definitely for me, 4-5-1, mate, is the way to go for us. because they'll try and play it out for the back. I don't care if Brown gets the ball and he's Einhoff and passes it between the back three, mate. They will not go. They'll have to start knocking the ball long for me. And what we do is give any of their players any space, mark them out the game. They get frustrated. I've watched them a few times. When teams are real defensive against them, they're all full of invention for the first 15, 20 minutes, and then it stops, mate. They start going sideways all the time looking for openings. But if you're covering the players, that's how we done well at Parkhead against them. I thought in the game we should have won. And what we have got today is when we break well. I think if we go in a toe-to-toe game with them, mate, I think we'll lose. I think we've got to be smart, clog up the midfield, 4-5-1 as I say, and when we break forward 4-3-3, but don't give them the room to
who's your three then,
players.
Fox? Midfield three?
Doesn't matter what three, mate, as long
Come
as
on,
you don't...
not who's yours three?
Well, it would be Goss, McCrory and Dorns for me.
Goss, McCrory and Dorns.
Because both Dorns and Goss can find a man going forward, and I think they're the most creative players we've got in the midfield. Goss never had a great game against them the last time. First time in an Old Firm game, mate. I think he could do better, and the boys got a sweet left foot in them, mate, you know.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anybody else want to add to what Fox has said? Cumbrian? Oh. Rudy?
I think Fox makes a good point. You know, I've said it many a time on here, you know, the gaps in the midfield, and, you know, Graham Murty's got to do something different, because if we play the same way we've been playing all season, they'll know that already, you know. For me, it's the midfield. I always think the midfield is where you win games. That's where you win games. You can get in top with the midfield. If you can get the better midfield, you've got a better chance of winning the game for me, you know. It's who you put in that midfield. And for me, as I said earlier, if everybody's fit, I would have McCrory in the midfield for definite, as you know, the central defensive midfielder. We gave them way too much space the last time. But when you play with five in the midfield, it's harder for them to work their way through. They'll just start punting. But I've actually saw them doing that in a game where they've started to punt the ball simply because they couldn't work their way through a midfield. And if we put five in the midfield at the weekend, it'll make it so much harder for them. Like Fox says, I don't really care about Scott Brown. You know, Scott Brown's one of the most overrated players in Scottish football for me. Players stay off him, sit off him, and make him look good. You know, they make him look good, and we've done that. So we have. And I think Travel Rug just really wants somebody to go and cement him in the first 10 minutes of the game. You know, and whether that would do any good or no, I don't know. But we can't go with that 4-2-3-1 again and just expect things to change, because it won't be any different than it has in any other game where we went with the 4-2-3-1. You know, with a slight exception where he slightly changes it and goes with a wee bit of a diamond in the midfield. It hasn't really made that much difference for me. There it is.
Can you go,
Brett? Come in on that, Ox. I was just going to say, you know, Rudy's right to a certain extent. I just don't feel that we have anybody in our squad that is, shall we say, strong enough and daft enough to take on Scott Brown. So, best if we leave Scott Brown alone and outplay him. Obviously, that's a big ask. So we need people to concentrate in their own game. But yes, if we had a Terry Hurlock or an Ian Ferguson, then you'd want him to go and just leather into that guy for get a couple of good tackles in him. Kevin Thompson, good tackles on him. And you know,
I'd like to see a Graham Roberts type. That's what I'd like to see.
You know,
a Graham Roberts type for me.
But they're never going to get near him, Rudy. He sits so deep.
That's right.
He's no going to create anything, mate. And neither the back three of their team. The keeper will always feed it out to them to start their attacks, mate.
Yeah.
But if you don't give them a target to hit with their passes or close down their attackers, just stone and tapping them all the time. If they've not got an open target, they'll start to get frustrated, and that's when they make mistakes. If these wee teams can do it, we can certainly do it.
Well, I think that's what Dundee done to them. That's what Dundee done to them, from what I heard. They played them in the midfield, put enough men in the midfield to thwart what they were trying to do. And for Dundee, that was a great result for them to come away with a point. So it was.
Do you think we've got enough midfielders to do that?
One at a time.
Oh, sorry, pal. Sorry.
I was going to say, I'll shug on the Tarrier radio. He came out and said that Celtic hadn't played so well against Dundee. He says, but it did have about 10 half-decent chances, most of which they hit over the bar. It's not as if Dundee were great. Dundee sat in and just kind of gone for the point. They fancied their chances against us a lot more, simply because they knew what we were going to do, and we're more gettable at it because we don't have such... We've not got the right players for the right positions because of the formations that they're playing.
I think everybody fancies their chances against us, Alan, especially at Ibrox,
And we said all this, well, we actually said more the last time in the lead up to a game against them, and it was, we're going to do them, blah, 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 because that's how we felt. That's just, we were all up for it. And that wee guy, Murray, just came out and done the exact same thing. We were all saying, let's play this one, let's play that one, use that formation, do that formation, who could you play in there? And he walks out and does the exact same thing he did in all the other games, just expecting a different result.
I don't get this with the Rangers support that they want somebody to nail Scott Brown, mate. As I say, he's not a
good tackler, Fox. What he is good at doing.
He's no creative, mate, but if he's got a target open left and right, he can find them with the ball. But we'll probably have Candias and Taverner on Sinclair, mate, and we'll do the same with Forrest on the other side. If he's not got a target to pass to, mate, he'll fall apart, mate, honestly. He wants you to go and rumble him up. And what he'd probably do is, Morelos, you put Morelos on him, it'll be Morelos that gets sent off, mate. That's what will happen. We'll be down to 10 men. Leave him with the ball. He'll no damage us with the ball. When was the last time he scored against us? Way back in Tuesday. He's not a threat going forward whatsoever. All he does is control the pace at the back, but if you fall too deep, he'll find the wingers, shut down the wingers, and you'll win that game, mate,
we were speaking earlier about Rogic and how quite a good mover he is when he's got the ball. And I think that Scott Brown nearly always finds him. If he's looking for him, he nearly always finds him because he knows where he plays. And if we can shall we say, get him further away from Brown for the easy pass, or get in there and cut it out as it comes through, that's the expectation. Because he really is, he does a lot of, shall we say, bossing in the attacking midfield area. He's a really good player that way. So we just say cut him out. Absolutely, pal. Absolutely. You saw that when he was with Goss, against Goss. When Goss was in the midfield, the ball came to him and he actually brushed past Goss.
He made him look, it was like men against boys.
That's correct. Boys. That's what it looked like,
Are you back with us, CB?
I was never away, but I done a bridge on you.
All right, I thought you might have done another guest.
No, Bridge is my hero. Everybody knows that.
I thought it was like a revolving door. You get your front door took away and it was a revolving door you had that.
Yeah. I hear you all talking there, lads, and I see what you are all coming for, really do. I see it different. Here's what I see. I don't even know what the squad is for the game against them. I don't know what the squad is. So how can I possibly know what tactics we're going to use or what system we're going to use? I don't know the squad. I don't know their squad, and I don't know how they play for the simple reason is I never watch them unless they're playing us. I want to give them a time of day for the things that come away. I want to give them the snotters off my nose. I don't like them. I don't like the club. Nothing about them turns me on. I don't even like on here talking about them. I don't even know why we're talking about them. Oh,
Bridge, that's a question for Bridge.
No, they seem to enjoy talking to them, and I don't understand it. But the boys seem to enjoy it, and they seem to enjoy coming out with the tactical stuff, which I'm useless at. You know that yourself, Ox.
Well, I try to give you an education on Saturday, mate.
You can't because I watch the Rangers by my heart, no for one of them wee boards with their wee stickers on and things like that. I watch the Rangers by my heart.
Stevie, this might come as a bit of a surprise to you, but none of us know anything about tactics either, mate, believe me.
I think we've got to be realistic and say that the last time, it wasn't that long ago, we played them, and we thought we've got a good chance of beating them, and we did have a good chance of beating them, and then we kind of fell apart late on the game. Now we've got a game coming up against it. That's the reason why we're talking about it. We're not talking about it because we're Celtic fans. We're talking about because of what we're going to do, what Rangers are going to do different to beat them. Huh?
Talk about us. We've got some really good players.
That's what we're talking about. Us.
No, you're
what
not.
Are we going to do?
Scott Brown. What's Scott Brown got to do with the Rangers?
No. What are we going to do to beat them?
Well, we'll get the ball on the deck and play at pace.
Well, that's what we're speaking about. Do we have players? Do we have players to do that? That's what we're saying.
We can't play anything else because we've only got the players we've got. The system.
Well, I think Rudy's idea was quite good.
1-4-1. What do you think of that? And I don't know anything about it. I watched the game on Saturday and thought I could see our shape getting lost, and I could see Dundee keeping theirs because I can see the shape, but I don't know what the tactics are. I don't know who's supposed to be doing what. I just watch a game. I'm just here to watch a Rangers. You know what I mean? Fair play to Dundee. I thought Dundee came out and gave us a game. I don't know what MD else thought of that.
Dundee did.
I agree with you.
I was proud of Dundee. I was proud of wee Neil McCann. I had a feeling that he might end up at us one day. Maybe not yet. Maybe a few years, but he could.
Put it this way, it wasn't his dross. It wasn't his dross as some of the games we've worked at. It's obviously the goals paired us up a bit, but the actual game, it was. There was times it was end to end.
Aye, well, I mean, we have watched some dross, but we've been watching dross since I was a boy.
We were unlucky in that FA Cup semi-final against Aston Villa.
I know we weren't. The ball wasn't out of the line.
Do you think when it comes to tactics, when we're talking tactics, CB, maybe it's just because we reckon we've not really got the players? Seeing like the 9 in a row era, I know it wasn't every season, but in some of the seasons, it wouldn't have mattered what formation we were supposed to go out and play. Our players were good enough just to go out and win anyway. It's not like that now because we've got kind of not so great. Aye,
they're good players, but they're no great.
Aye. No Rangers greats or anything.
Oh, they're no great players. I remember coming home in the bus one day to Ibrox, and one of my heroes as well, Big Davy Probum, and remember Big Davy? They called him Dorothy. Dorothy Probum. And I can remember coming home one day, Billy Ritchie had let the ball go right through his arms and right through his legs for a goal against them. And I got on the bus. I was only a boy, and I got on the bus. And I said, Billy Ritchie, get him out our club altogether. He's up. This, that, and the other. And I got a slap for it off an old-time Rangers supporter on the bus. Nobody says to me, see, if you're hurting, son, they're hurting 10 times worse. That goes for our boys today. They hurt more than us. Please believe me, professional footballers want to win.
They do want to win, but the difference for the club then was that most of them understood what the Rangers was about, but the modern football player, and let's just say our team doesn't come for the central belt the way it used to. You know, you've got Morelos, Windass, Alves, Gandias, just to name a few, Tavernier. They've not been brought up with the Rangers the same that we have, and how we all suffer when we lose and we maybe get too high when we win.
True, I agree with you.
You know?
No. And they types of guys as well. Oxford, they've no got but Ray Wilkins heard about him. Because obviously Ray became one of us, but I don't know if our younger guys...
He was playing in a better team, wasn't he? He was playing in a better team.
Different characters too.
Can I ask a question then?
Of course you can, CB.
And really, what time is it? 20 past. I might make it a long question, I don't know. See if he went out next week and played exactly the same, exactly, to the letter the same, and come away with the same result, what would you say?
What's a performance? What's a performance? Bridgman?
He would say, the same as I would say, we are the people.
I would say arise, Sir Graham Murphy. On you go, Bridgman. You can take that one.
Oh well, of course. It beat anyone 4-0 is a great result, marvellous result, and the manner in which we scored a couple of the goals. That was seriously really good. I think it's a good question too, CB. Anybody as a Rangers fan would just love to be able to put 4 goals past that mob, and for none in return. They've outplayed us before and we'll beat them. We know that. We're no daft, you know. But I honestly, you know, it's a really, really tough game coming up. It's another game. It's a massive game. Like every game against anybody nowadays for Rangers, it's a massive game. But they think they've got us beat. They think they've got a spell over us, and the spell in some cases is called the tranny man. You know the way they talk. As long as the tranny man's there, Rangers will never beat them. That kind of thing, you know.
Mr. Struth's words ring loud in my ear, Bridge. I love nothing better when folk have got the Rangers beat before a ball's been kicked.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Anyway, we've been joined by our global ambassador.
Hey, Big Al.
Hey, Al.
Hey, Al.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening.
Evening, Al.
Good evening. Evening, CB. It's a pleasure being on such an esteemed panel with you on Saturday. You and
Esteemed.
The honour was all mine, Al, honest.
Oh, sorry, I meant to say boys that were steaming on the panel.
A steaming panel, aye.
No, it certainly was. Have you covered? Sorry, I haven't been able to listen to the first hour, but I've covered Dave King's statement, obviously, yeah?
No, we have no, because we've got all week, Al. We're just talking about Saturday's game, mate. Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah,
well,
we've even mentioned it yet.
Then. I'll leave it.
I've known that you've had time to reflect on the match, Al, and which your thoughts? Because sometimes the heat of the battle, you see it differently. I mean, I watched the highlights. I watched the highlights again. I mean, more chances than I realised, but they had a couple of gilt-edged ones, you know.
No, it was a result, but it was no performance. And I was talking to a guy out here yesterday, actually, about we're looking at Docherty's had enough time in the team to become a better player, but yet he's not developed into a better player. That's one or two things.
We're getting told they went off on Saturday. The bug, mate.
Yeah, the bug.
Aye, that's what we're picking up.
Oh no, I'm not here to criticise Docherty.
Aye.
Far from it. I think he's not who I'm going to criticise. That's the management team. Not good enough to coach the players. I don't see the players getting better, if you know what I mean. They're not getting coached properly. I think Docherty's had enough time in the team to get coached better. So I was hoping you were talking. I'm going to talk about King, so I'll leave it there. But I think the game for me is what I said on Saturday. It was a result. It was a good result. It was 4 goals, but there was no performance. And we're not getting performances. The players are not performing better. They should be performing better each week. And I fear for the weekend, actually. I don't see us tactically having anything that's better than them on the other side of the city.
I did notice one difference on Saturday, Al.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jonathan Johansson came up and sat in the director's box, where Jimmy Nicholl seemed to be doing the backing up to Graham Murphy. I noticed that was a wee change. He sat beside Mark Allen during it, and they were obviously discussing things, because he disappeared, I think it was halfway through the first half, went back down the stair, and he did come back up in the second half as well. I was wondering what that was all about, but Jimmy Nicholl seemed to have a more active role than he has of lately, and I was wondering if that was a wee change or something that was going on there.
Well, I think that was coincidence, if anything. I don't think Jimmy Nicholl brings anything to the party for us. I know he's been at Rangers.
Do you don't think it's always the same? It's always the same in a number 2. That's how some people think it's a great job in football.
No.
You're never under pressure, Al.
Aye, but we've been on here saying he he was the next great thing. He was Jimmy Nicholl. I don't see that he's done anything because he's been there side by side with Mr. Murray when we've had the bad results as well as the good results. So Jonathan Johansson sitting with Mark Allen. Is Mark Allen managing the team?
No, I've never seen it before. I sit and watch everything that goes on in that director's box, and I did notice that straight for the start. I'm beginning to think that Jimmy Nicholl is just in the background as an observer, mate. I think there's a possibility if we've got a new manager coming in that Jimmy Nicholl may be the next number 2 for him, mate. I think the board have given Graham Murty his chance, and Jimmy Nicholl hasn't really took much part in it for me, so I think he's there more on an observation basis, mate.
Oh, guys, with you saying that, fault, there could be a wee idea that, see, behind the scenes, I think I alluded to it before, but I'm not dead sure. They could have spoken to someone already, and that person could have went and said, I fancy Jimmy Nicholl. It's my number 2. Maybe.
No,
just throwing it in. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, the number 2 role, as I said before, Al, they always slip through the net. They're never under pressure. It's a chemistry that you never see as a fan, that number 2 role. We don't see it. You don't see it during the game. You don't see it with the day. We laugh and joke about Ibs and Cones, but it's really the chemistry between the manager and the team that the number 2 it joins up. Good cop, bad cop, whatever you want, and we don't see that as fans, mate. We don't see any. If you think any, I couldn't even tell you. Say, Man United, Marino's a manager. Who's the number 2? No got a clue. I know that the boy who played with us, Arteta, helps out at Man City. Who's Arsene Wenger? Bold helps him. I don't even know if he's number 2 or he just helps him. Who's Klopp's number 2 at Liverpool? No got a clue.
It's a German boy.
Nah, I've not got a clue, you know.
I know you're starting to depress me here.
I always think that it'll be whoever who the manager is, it'll be their choice who comes in as number 2 because it's a personality thing, you know.
Correct. That's it. But the number 2's got to leave when the manager leaves, I would suggest, because he's had a hand.
Usually, mate.
He's had a hand in the results. Like the manager takes 85% of it, and then the rest is split between the players and the rest of the management team. There has to be a cleaner. I'd look, for all Nicholl is, people like him and that. He was at Falkirk. He was a number 2 at Falkirk. Why are we even that? He was another stopgap thing that they probably didn't have to pay a lot of money for. He was glad to get a job with a wee bit more money, and he's took it. And good luck to him. But I just don't think he's the type of man, and the manager are the type of men that'll take us forward. It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. But they're not going to be the people that are going to take us forward, and they're culpable for the results.
Who would have been the number 2 before Jimmy Nick came in?
Jonathan Johansson, mate.
Johansson.
Ah, right. Mm-hmm.
He was number 3, was he? No.
But
when he went for the interview thing.
I think before Murty took the job, mate, he'd have been his second in command with the youth. Would he know?
No.
And I think Rangers have given that pair a wee chance to have a go at being the management team, mate. And why Jimmy Nicholl was ever brought in, I don't know, because I never seen him having any input on the park. That's what makes me think he was there to maybe have a look at the squad and see who was doing what, mate. But on Saturday, he took a more active role for me. It's the first time I've seen him doing that.
I'm interested to see how we pan out. We need to get a number 1 before we get a number 2.
Number 2, correct.
Any sense? I'm sure we'll be talking that long and hard. Look, I know you. I know the season ticket renewals have come out today, and there's a statement for the club. But I think we need to get that. We'll start the show with that tomorrow night, Big Al, only because I think it will open up a lot of debate that we couldn't do justice.
there's enough meat on the bone to start that just now, and you'll still be talking about it.
Well,
but anyway, you're on the show.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's read it, but we had plenty to at 10 o'clock. But the football kept us rolling, and the tactical side of the game kept us rolling, and everybody's seen it slightly different. But we've all got this problem, Mr. Global Ambassador, this midfield. Everybody's near enough agreed with. We play with this two in there, and we can constantly see he's getting outnumbered the way other teams, if they say it, they play a 3-5-2 or they play a 4-5-1. Our two are always outnumbered. Is it a problem for you?
Yes, it's a problem, but the manager isn't bright enough to change it, and his hands are tied to a certain extent because he probably doesn't have the personnel to change it. So, and he has to flood it. He has to flood it at the weekend and just hold on. And hopefully, with a bit of luck, he maybe pulls through.
Would you play McCrory? Would you play Alves and Martin and play McCrory in midfield?
You have to play your best players you've got. If they're fit, Alves and Martin, McCrory in midfield with Dorns, and maybe even just say Drap, Candias, and maybe put Halliday in there with Docherty as well, and then just have Morelos, Murphy. Play Dorns that wee bit forward, so you've got at least a three. You've got a capable three, I would suggest, with McCrory, Docherty, and who does I say, Halliday, with Dorrans and Miller and Morelos.
Has Andy Halliday come into the frame? Rudy Bertie starting Sunday, one good 30-minute cameo?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say, isn't it? I mean, he played well, I thought, when he came on at the weekend. Because up to that point, the midfield wasn't performing for me at all, really. So, I don't know. Did they bring him on, thinking maybe we'd use him next week, at the weekend, rather? I don't think so. I think you'll see McCrory in there, I think you'll see Goss in there, and I think you'll possibly see Dorrans in there. I don't think you'll see Halliday in there.
Has Halliday not got a bit more about him than Goss? Because Goss is like Windass. He's left his ball somewhere. I think it's a game. It's a semi-final. It's a game that we can't afford to come off the park and leave in and on it. And that includes your legs and shins. I'd rather have Halliday than Goss. What's Goss going to do? He's tippy-tap. Goss is away. His career's done. That's what he was playing with QPR, and then we bring him up here. He's no got what you need for Scottish football. Not at all. He certainly went off the boil in the last couple of games. I'd agree with you there, But I think as far as talent goes, he's got bags more talent than anybody else in that squad, mate. And if the boy was up for it, you'd see somebody that knows how to pass the ball properly. Because we don't have anybody else that can pass the ball in the way he can. He's passing the ball to people that haven't got talent. That's the thing. I think we have to go into the game and be fighters more than just dancing about the ring. And I think we've got to go in and start. I'm not saying breaking legs. No. All I'm saying is that we struggled on Saturday to remember personnel about changing teams when we were talking on here. And then when I seen Halliday come on, I went, well, I think he can play. If you say to him, please, just... But then again, tactically, I think the manager hasn't got it to tell him. But I'd be saying to him, just do this exact one job for me. McCrory's got to do his exact job. And Docherty, Cummins, Miller and Morelos... Docherty will do his job. Morelos and Miller will do their job. You've got Murphy there as well. You've got Dorns, however the combinations, but they have to stick to their jobs. None of this, we're going to play through the middle of the park and we're going to a certain formation when we go down the wings and just fucking get in them. Sorry for swearing, but it's the semi-final.
You should know better that kids listen.
Yeah. Can I add something?
On you go, Al 63.
It was for Big Al there talking about how Goss couldn't make it or not going to make it or whatever in Scottish football. I was just thinking of Ray Wilkins. I remember Ray Wilkins used to get quite a bit of hounding, and it wasn't just when he played with us, and a lot of people used to see him as a kind of Nancy boy.
I can't believe you've mentioned the two people in the same sentence, Big Al.
No, I'm not liking wanting or I'm going to give you a kind of scenario.
Big Al.
My scenario would be, as we get stronger, because we're not just going to snap our fingers and we've got it there and then. Well, I'd love it if we did, but you never know. But imagine the guy Goss was playing in the same team that Wilkins was playing on, and you had the talent running about that guy to, I'll get him because he's the guy that's doing the running, I'll beat him. All you have to do then is do what that guy we were talking about earlier on, the foul player, Rog Gitch, or whatever he's called. Move into space, Goss can do that. Give him the ball, Goss can do that. Spin it about, Goss can do that. He could make it no bother. It's just to do with the people you're playing with. A lot of times. No, a lot of times.
Bridgeman, you've been quiet for a while.
You're speaking about Goss versus...
Well, if you think there's a place in the team for him, potentially, in your opinion.
And against Celtic, it depends what you're looking for. Standardly, yeah, I think he's a smashing wee player. And if he, excuse me, he had a wee slip up there the last two games. He kind of went off form a wee bit and was outplayed, particularly the Celtic game. So maybe a wee drop in form and drop in mind. But he came on and he did no too bad when he came on. Not he did anything, but he did no bad. He wasn't not there to criticise anyone. But yeah, I quite like him. I think he could play well for us, but I don't think we should be playing him this Saturday, this Sunday rather. And if we do, it's going to be as a subby. We need somebody a bit more strong in midfield. Are the strongest guys we've got, and I think you'd be better with someone like Halliday than Goss. I don't think you need necessarily the finesse, but you need somebody with a wee bit more strength and a wee bit more about him, insofar as that's concerned.
You put that point across, Bridge, with great finesse yourself, so thank you. The man knows what he's talking about.
Sometimes. Fox?
I would have Goss or Halliday any day, mate. Yeah, he's all right for the bench for me, Andy Halliday. I think he did find himself with a bit of room when he came on in the late on in the was it 60 minutes or something? He came on just after 60 minutes when he came on for Docherty. But Dundee had fell back a bit by then, mate, and he got a bit of room to play. He'll not get that against the Tims. And the likes of Rogic would run out of the tappy, Andy Halliday, mate. Andy goes to ground too easy when he goes for the ball. And I think the strength in the midfield. Andy's had loads of attempts at All Firm games, mate, for me. No loads, but he's played in enough of them. And I don't think he's been a standout in any of them. He would be my least choice out of all the midfielders.
Mm-hmm. Right. But you'd rather have Goss to play against Celtic?
Goss can play football, mate. Goss could win you the game.
Yeah, but he played against Celtic. He played against Celtic not that long ago and did nothing.
But near did most of the players.
But you're talking about Goss playing football against Celtic. I'm afraid he didn't play football against Celtic.
He did have a good game, but he was outnumbered, didn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. The way we play, it will happen.
I'm just saying, it's only my opinion that Goss is a far, far better football player than Andy Halliday. And I've nothing against Andy. I think he was reasonable for his in the Championship, mate. He's no featured really much since he came back. And I think Goss that's only my opinion, I think Goss is a far better football player than him.
Yes, indeed. I 100% agree with you, and I think most Rangers fans would that have seen him. But you're speaking about Goss, who was before the Celtic game and possibly the Goss after it. When he came on at the weekend there and he did no bad, as I say. And I like the boy. I think he'd be a smashing player for us. Great acquisition if we could get him. But his drop in form was quite dramatic because we were dependent on him. And I don't know if he would be able to pick himself up for the Celtic game. That's what I'm meaning. He may become on as a subby. He might be able to do it. But from having something about him against Celtic, knowing what it's about, not getting overawed by it all. Okay, he's not going to find. Halliday does not have the finesse of Goss for sure, but he's got a bit about him. That's what I mean. So you could put him in there and he could go and win tackles and do things that Goss couldn't do. That's all.
I'm with you, Fox. I think he's got more talent than anybody else in the squad, Sean Goss.
100%. 100%.
But the thing is, you've got to put him in a midfield that's going to do all the hard work and allow Goss to play the football. And that's where, for me, McCrory comes in. And you have to find a way of fitting somebody else in the midfield. Probably Dorrans. Let Dorrans sort of move forward a bit, you know. But for me, I like football players, you know, and that's what Goss is. As I said, he's the most talented player we've got at the club right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I must agree with you. If in any given day, I would take Goss and play him in our midfield for sure. But,
what's happened to Jason Holt?
Well, as you see, has he been on the bench at all?
Just disappeared. And whether he's got a wee niggling injury, but it's not been reported anywhere.
It's going to be intriguing anyway come the weekend what the manager's thoughts are and what his team's going to be, because we're sitting here and we're trying to figure it out, and it's quite impossible to do so. But if we were going to, I would rather play strong players. I don't mean good, gifted players, but strong players against Celtic than gifted players who may not come up to the mark for the game.
So you would have never have played Jim Baxter against them then?
No. Jim Baxter was a fabulous player. But what he did, he had everything. He didn't bother who he was playing against. I'll play my game and I'll beat you. That was him. And
I don't think Baza, remember?
Eh?
It was Dave Baza.
What do you mean?
Well, I think
Barry Ferguson.
Did
you say Barry Ferguson?
Just anyway.
Don't let him wind you up, Bridge.
No, I think we're speaking about two different. You're speaking of one of the finest players the world's ever seen.
Yeah. Barry Ferguson, Bridge?
No. Oh, actually, he wasn't too bad either. But no, Baxter could give me the ball and don't you worry, son. You do this. Give me that. But no, I think I'd love to see Goss coming out and playing against Celtic and doing well. I'm afraid he didn't do well the last time. And I don't know whether the manager's left him out the team for the last two games. So I don't know whether he's got any plans for him to start the game against Celtic. I don't know.
It's quite amazing how in the dark we are, isn't it?
Well, you don't know, because we don't know if Docherty's fit. We don't know if Goss has got a knock. Holt's disappeared. We don't know if Windass is going to reappear. There's a question for me. What did you think of the team without Windass? We'll go round the panel. Rudy Bear.
They scored 4 goals, didn't they? And they kept a clean sheet. Can Kenny Miller play that position that Windass plays? Probably, because at times Windass has been absolutely non-existent this season. And I think for the first half of the season, when Kenny was fit and was playing on a regular basis, we were all complaining about Kenny, weren't we? But then it's back to the same old thing. It's that huge gap that you're trying to cover when you're playing that position, you know, for the midfield to the forwards, or forward, should I say. Kenny could probably do that as well as Windass can. I think the reason Kenny's playing just now is I honestly can see Kenny Miller playing on Sunday. I can see him playing on Sunday. I really can. I think that's why he got a run out at the weekend there.
Big Al, the global ambassador. Then we'll go to Al 63.
Aye. Miller, I think, has got to play, hasn't he? Miller's got to play on Sunday.
I would play him in front of Windass personally, but that's
just definitely. I'd play quite a few people in front of Windass.
I'd play myself in front of Windass, I think, sometimes.
You'd play yourself in front of Windass?
Something like that, Al.
I'd play you in front of Windass, honestly, I would.
Playing like a banjo already. Behave yourself, there's children listening to this. Sorry, just to back up, the Halliday thing, you could simply, maybe you just don't think Halliday's up for it. Well, put Hingman there.
Holt.
What's his Holt? Put Holt in instead of Halliday. We have to come off the park on Sundays, the same as what I was saying to you with the European final. We have to come off that park on Sunday. We as fans knowing that they gave 110%, bodies getting carried off the park, whatever, but they have to go for it. It's the last chance. The players must know that. Whatever they did, and whoever goes on that park, whether it be Goss, Halliday, Holt, Windass, whoever it is, they have to give 100%. and come off and letting us know that they at least tried. Because if we come at that game again and it's a damp squib, well, it's another great weekend for us all, you know what I mean?
Al 63 then, Bridge.
Well, I think like every other time playing against them, we always kind of think, I wonder how it's going to go. And I don't really see us playing silky football then. I think that's kind of out the window. And if we're looking for, we want 10 outfield players all to give their all and come off the park and you know every single one and busted a gut, then I'd imagine the wee guy Holt would get a recall. I would imagine McCrory will definitely start. I would imagine the wee guy Dorns, he needs to have a beanie's bonnet, hopefully before the game, rather than wait to half time. So give him a rock before he starts. And get out there and get tore into them. The only wee thing that I don't like is, as we saw against Dundee, that wee fella Morelos up against, was it 3 centre-backs, wasn't it? And against Celtic, it's going to be the 2 big muppets that they've got. And it's asking a lot of one wee guy to rumble them up and score the goals.
For 20 minutes, mate, they couldn't play him at Ibrox, mate. They had them rattled, they did.
Yeah.
They had them rattled.
It's better being at the game. Yeah.
Aye, he really did. I don't know if anybody else quickly wants to come in on that. Fox?
100% agree with that.
Aye.
Oh, can I quick?
On you go, Al. On you go. Oh, we lost him.
I'll come in.
On you go, comrade.
As simple as this, isn't it, really? You change your team to just 1-4-0?
Yes, I would, mate.
What would you change your team to just 1-4-0 for?
If I thought it would improve it, I'd always improve. I would always change my team. If I think it will improve it as a manager, you've got to improve your team.
See, I hate changing a winning team, no matter who they win against. I think it's bad policy to change a winning team unless it's forced on us. I'd like to see the same team out in the park every week, because that's what gets success going. Stability. The same 18 or what it is. Get your bench right, get everything right. There's no horse. Shadow's saying it's horses for courses, but this is all the personnel we have got. There's nothing else we can do but play with the personnel we have got. Why break up a winning team? It's just madness.
But at the same time, CP, you yourself will admit that the wee guy Dorns and what's his face, Doherty, they weren't really that good.
1-4-0.
Aye, but no cause of them.
But they win 4-0. It doesn't matter who it's because if we win as a team or lose as a team. I would like to see wee Jason Holt back. I particularly like him.
Same.
If the rest of the team played with the same passion as that wee fella did, would be some team. I can see that. I can see the same things. Everyone you see, please believe me.
And the counter argument about Jason is his distribution's not the best, and obviously his physicality, and I mean,
you can't doubt his industry, Ox.
His effort, you can't fault, mate. You can't fault it.
He's
lightweight. Aye, he's lightweight.
Aye. By the way, you've got to really, really take your hat off to the boy. He's been a professional football player. He must have something about him today, what he's done to get. He's been playing with us for 3 seasons now, and fair play to the boy. His attitude must be first class, Jason Holt.
He's running about their legs, you see, and that's what I like.
He's good at breaking things up, yeah.
But we'll have to go with what Mr. Morty picks. We've no choice in the matter. So it's the middle of the park. It seems to be causing everybody.
The middle of the park and the central defence, mate. That's what.
And I can see that. I mean, I've seen it. You don't see it right watching it on the bloody internet. You need to really be at the game to see what's going on. Do you know what I mean? You really need to be at the game to see exactly what's going on. So I can only base my judgment on what I see.
There's plus and minuses on the telly, mate, and there's plus and minuses where you see things like, I'm just going to come to this for the last few minutes, the penalty decision where the first time you've seen it, I think it's a penalty, you say, it must have took a dive, and then when you see it again, the goal has come out and just touched him with his face on his foot, and it's a penalty kick because he's brought him down when he's running, but you're at the game, you only get to see it once, but what you get to see at the game is who's making the runs and who's covering up that you don't see on the telly. The penalty incident, Fox, just for the last few minutes, you were at the game. What was your views? And you've seen it since.
I thought it was a penalty kick right away, mate. And I was talking to the wee fella that sits next to me, and our argument straight away was, when the keeper stayed down, mate, there must have been contact. The referee was too quick to pull the card out, mate. For me, if he'd have seen that the keeper was injured, he must have known that he'd made contact with Morelos, and that is the reason Morelos went down. Simple as that. Penalty kick all the way.
Yeah. He's appealed the yellow, by the way.
And so he should.
Aye.
So he should.
Good. Yeah.
Al 63.
Well, I'm looking at what it's West B in it. No, I've not scrolled up. It's put that replay in the lobby there, and it's an unusual one to say. Let me say. You see, Morelos going past the keeper. His touch is sublime. You don't often see that from Morelos. His touch was really, really good, and it looks to me like he's trying his hardest to get onto the ball, and the keeper gets them. And when I first saw it, I'm seeing it now, it's 100% penalty. I don't care what the ref says. I don't care what SFA say or compliance officers or anything else. That's 100% penalty. Do you know what the unfortunate thing is? It was a poor guy's face, but he still brought him down. He get right in his way, and that's the part.
Bridgman, you must have had a great view of that.
Quite a good view. I thought it was instantly I thought it was a penalty, because we're looking right onto it. Morelos went down. I think the referee has given it for a free kick to them as an assault on the keeper. Basically, he probably thinks he's left his leg in there and he's attached the keeper. So somewhere along the line, I don't know.
Does that add up? Because if he thinks he's done that, it's a red card, doesn't it?
Well, to all intents and purposes, it could have been a red card. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think he's done something. I think he's
the reckless play for me was for their goalkeeper when he comes.
100%, 100%. I don't think there's anybody, certainly up this end of the Copeland Road end of the ground, thought there was anything else other than a penalty for Rangers there. But you notice the referee ran up, and if you watch it again, you'll see him. The referee's actually indicating it's been a free kick, and he's not given a goal kick because the ball went out. Remember, so if it was nothing happened and it was just something else, or it was a dive, he'd have booked him for diving and it had been a goal kick. But he's given a free kick for that. You don't get a free kick for diving.
I don't think.
I know of anyway.
Bridge, I don't think it was Morelos' foot that done the damage. I think it was his knee. So whether they left his foot in doesn't matter. It was his knee.
No, whatever it is, it's contact. I couldn't see what's contacted his face, but I think he's done. I think the referee thought that he's deliberately hit him. I think it was the other way about. I thought there was a goalkeeper that clashed with Morelos.
I agree.
Right.
We're going to have to get you opera. We're going to have to get you opera glasses so you can see the game. But
well, that's the way I see it. It happened very quickly, and everybody round about me, a whole of the Copeland and a whole of Ibrox probably thought, "Oh, that's a penalty." And I'm sure even the Dundee supporters thought it was a penalty. And the only person in Ibrox that thought it wasn't a penalty was the referee. However, we didn't know for a few minutes that the goalkeeper had been caught, and the face that is, so we didn't know what the damage was.
Rudy, penalty for you?
100%. I thought it was a ridiculous decision by the referee to book Morelos. Morelos done exactly as he should have done as a striker, was trying to get past the keeper. And the fact that the keeper lay on the ground and instantly put his hands up on the back of his head as if to say, I've just gave away a penalty. You could tell instantly the keeper thought that it was a penalty. It was an idiotic decision by the referee. It was a penalty all day long for me.
Cheers, mate. Cheers. Last words to the global ambassador, Alan. Now, the CBN, you come and then we'll go to Big Al in Australia.
Definitely a dive. Definitely a dive. I hope we play B. Josh right through the middle next week and he gets it right on them. One of the best boys.
Thanks for the call, CB. Speak to you next year. Big Al, global ambassador. Penalty kick for you?
Well, it wasn't a dive, and that's what you got booked for, wasn't it?
It looked that way, mate. Was it a penalty?
No, it wasn't a dive. It was a penalty.
Was it a penalty?
No, it wasn't a dive. It was a penalty.
It looked that way, mate. Because it's been his face and his head trips him up.
I know.
I don't know if he get booked for diving. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well,
I think he's get done for a free kick. I don't think he booked for diving, but I don't know because I've not read any story that says he was.
So
booked
that
for
would
diving.
imply then that he went into the goalkeeper.
The keeper.
Hard.
That's it. Yeah.
But it was the goalkeeper went into him, and then I think
agree.
he said he dived. I don't think it looked like a dive. As he went through, I thought, well, he's went down legitimately. He's no took a dive as you think
absolutely.
A dive. Like,
we know there's been contact between it. We know there's been contact between him and the keeper. Yeah.
Anyway, gentlemen, we've reached that time of the evening. Big Al, Global Ambassador, give us a shout out.
Thanks very much, gentlemen.
And we'll be discussing that right at the start of the show tomorrow night, big man.
I'll try and make it in.
Al, 63.
Yep, I hope the word gets back to Mr. Murty and he does something about this too in the middle of the park.
Well, they're obviously listening because they've started doing what we wanted them with the half-time screens. Rudy Bear?
We shout out to Graham Murty and the team. This is a huge game. This is the last chance that you've got to do something for the fans this season.
Already, Rudy. Don't.
No, a stomach's turning just thinking about it. But this is the last chance to do something.
It's all right for you. I'm going to get with Fox on Saturday.
Enjoy yourself, mate.
Cumbrian Bear.
I'm going to retract what I said about it wasn't a dive. It was a dive. It was definitely a dive. The goalie made a great dive. Is it shout out time?
Yes, on you go.
Okay, then on we go. First and foremost, all the guys in the lobby. The patter's great in the lobby, like it is every night. All my pals in there. All the guys in the panel. Great crack, great patter. Very knowledgeable. You come across very knowledgeable. Good luck to the Glasgow Rangers and the Derry boys that I used to stand in. I'll not add the rest of it. Come on, the Rangers.
Yeah. Did I go? Al 63? You give us a shout out, mate?
I did, yeah.
Oh, sorry, mate. I must be losing it. Fox?
I'll give a shout out for Jacqueline, since CB didn't have the courage to do it.
Very good.
Will she be phoning any time this week on the ladies' night, CB? Bridgeman?
Oh, what can I say? I like to echo everything everybody said. It's been another great discussions and so on and so forth. So, and there's some news coming out of Ibrox and so on and so forth. And it's all go. So I'm looking forward to the next night and the next night and so on and so forth and the build up to the game. But can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here, on RB Radio, Rangers Radio, everybody, please, keep it going for the Rangers because we need it. Keep it going.
This has been Rangers Radio. Can I thank Big Al, the Global Ambassador, Al 63, Bridgeman, Cumbrian Bear, Fox and Rudy Bear for taking the time to join the panel, for everybody in the lobby for taking part, and everybody who listens to Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 9 and 11 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Fox.
See them march on, marching on through the years of history. Heads held on high, for the jersey they would do or die. Fight for right, play the game with a badge of glory. Win, lose or draw, that's the Glasgow marching on.